Hey guys, MrStardustRicon here, and what is up? Welcome back to more Love at First Sight. Last weekend I forgot to upload the second part because I got lazy. It happens. But this weekend we're finally going to be finishing up this game, which I'm looking forward to. We're probably going to be doing one chapter, one per episode on this. That way we can have it be nice and even and end the week off nice and evenly. But yeah, no, last time we ended up getting closer to Sachi through our mutual love of books and being able to lend out our books to see how she felt about them and, you know, have some conversation ground and everything like that. As well as we went home with her one time because, hey, guess what? We decided to fucking, throw a paper bag that was 50 pounds heavy or something like that. Or something like that at her. So we also got to meet her aunt, and we also met with her bully, or that is the assumption, at least now anyway, because man, she was definitely violent and calling her a freak all the different ways, so I don't think we can look at it any other way. I don't think there is any other, oh, we don't know both sides of the story. No, I don't think there's an assumption. I think I chose the wrong words there. So, with all that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. We are in, if I go ahead and go back on this, maybe? Yeah, we get to get this nice little opening again of us feeding her, because this game's log is weird and doesn't actually have a log and instead just makes us go back in time. We get to go into Act 4, see eye to eye. About 2 weeks have passed since the last episode. See, it's only nice, and I'm only keeping consistent with what's going on in here, except instead of delaying 2 weeks, it's only been a delay of a week. But you know what, it's close enough. I've met Sachi for lunch on the stairway that leads up to the roof every day, and she's gone through countless manga and novels. We've also gone to and from school together when we could. Sachi hasn't asked for help since the day I offered it to her, but even still, every now and then I go around to her classroom to meet her. Of course, I try not to draw attention to myself anymore, to just go to retrieve Sachi as quickly as I can. Even though Sachi's free from Sadakawa, I think she's still worried about being bullied. There's no especially noticeable change, but Sachi's smile doesn't seem faded like it did before. Little by little, smiling is becoming more natural for her. What are you smiling about? Probably, that sounds a bit confrontational. What are you smiling about? There we go, that sounds more like a loving mom. Today, as always, I arrive home after walking Sachi to her house, and I run into my mom, who seems to have come out to check the mail. Oh, nothing. Is my face betraying what I'm thinking? I try to put on a more neutral expression as I reply. You've been getting up so early these past few weeks. Having fun at school? Something like that. We found a friend. We're trying to be a good person, and hey, who knows what else may happen. It's not like we've actually been planning to meet up in the morning. We just keep getting lucky, I guess. But yes, it does mean that I've been getting to school earlier than I used to. The main reason I'm leaving early is that I'd hate to let the chance to meet Sachi in the morning slip away. The fact that it's put to a stop by my habit of being late is just a nice side effect. Oh? My. I thought she was going to pry into my school life, but the mail seems to have caught her attention first. She scans the envelopes and eventually stops on one, separating it from the others. She reads it and after a moment finally sighs. What's wrong? I won tickets to a private showing of a new movie, but it's on the same day that we plan to visit some of your father's relatives, so I can't go. A private showing? You really hit it big. Well, I do enter a lot of those kinds of drawings. I'm surprised you do. Usually those are just super code for scams. In fact, I don't even trust these movie tickets. I know this is the lineup, straight just, hey, this is the pass. It's very easy. Now you just gotta throw it into the fucking goal. But no, this might be a trap. You never know, Mom. They might ask for your social security number and stuff like that. You didn't already give it to them, did you? Filling out entries in those web prize lotteries is Mom's hobby. She systematically scans the web and fills out everyone she can find. That's insane. She actually wins quite a few of those private showings, so my dad and I accompany to them pretty often. You said you had plans for that day? And when is it? You usually do everything you can to go to those. It's this Sunday afternoon. Those sneak peeks are usually on weekend nights, but not many people go on Sundays. Hey, could I have those tickets? Since you and Dad can't go, of course. Sure, I don't mind. I don't know if the movie's good or not, but I still didn't want to waste the tickets. Great, thanks. Hey, I think like I said, we got a nice little, and that's how I got them yesterday. We were explaining our plan at getting a date with Sachi. Lunchtime as I eat with Tomo and Kemi. I show them the tickets for the private showing that I got from my mom. Wow, I've never heard of that movie, but it looks fun. Kemi is practically squealing with delight as she looks over the tickets. Oh, so now the answer to the question of which of us to invite is neither, I'm guessing. Good guess, Tomo. Huh? No way, he didn't say that. Bad guess, Kemi. Yeah, no, this conversation would pretty naturally lead to that. Like, hey, look, guys, I got some tickets from my mom to go see a movie on Sunday. Like, usually the natural, like, next step on that shit is to be like, would you guys like to come with me? But no, we're just, like, showing them off, I guess. I guess Tomo's more on our wavelength than Akemi is. Because I'm more on Akemi's wavelength on this. I totally thought I knew where you were going with this, but you're not taking us? Meanie, I want to see that movie too. Sorry, I've only got 2 tickets. If I invite one of you, that means I have to leave the other of you behind. Yeah. So he's going to go invite you know who instead. I know who. Oh, Sachan! Yeah, so what do you think? What do we think? They're your tickets. And besides, you're the one who knows your relationship with her best. Well, whatever. Sure, go ahead and invite her. Well, I've never hung out with a girl outside of school. I'm a little nervous. Hello? What about your trip we took together on the last holiday? Don't be so rude to Akemi. I do not approve of this game's bullying of Akemi. No, what I mean is that whenever we meet, Tomo's almost always there as well. Well, yeah, I guess that's true. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but you're the one you're the one she knows best. We can't really give you much advice, but if you coerce her into going, she's never going to be comfortable around you again. If you plan to accompany her there, that should be enough to convince her, right? Yeah, I don't know exactly where this was going. I would assume the conversation would naturally be like, hey, do you want to go to this movie? Not like, I don't think that's coercing. I think that's more like, hey, if you want to go, hey, here's the offer. It's, you know, nice and polite, but I guess maybe someone would take that as like, I don't want to turn them down. Yeah, you're probably right, I guess. I guess I should actually try and find out where we're going first, huh? Man, guess it does make sense for you to take Sachi out instead of us. I still feel like I'm missing out, though. Well, if Sachi ends up rejecting me, I'll hand the tickets off to you two, since at that point, I wouldn't know what to do with them anyway. Huh? You sure? But you could go alone if you wanted to, right? But going to the movies alone is fine. That is not something that you should shame someone for, but it's not for me. Definitely not for me. Maybe, but do I want to go alone? Besides, these tickets are in my mom's name. If one of the people trying to use them isn't female, they might not accept them at all. Anyway, that's all moot if Sachi agrees to come. I can't make the decision for you now that I have the stake in it. Do I want to see the movie, or do I want the day when I finally meet Sachan to come sooner? I guess either would be good. What about you, Tomo? If you do hand the tickets off to us, that means I have to spend the day with Akemi, which is a pretty tiring prospect. Then again, I can't exactly refuse your generosity. I am free that day, and going to a movie might be a worthwhile diversion. Wow, I didn't realize you were that excited to go on a date with me, Tomo. Look, I'll do it. But do you know how much energy it takes the average human to keep up with you? Not that much! She usually has, like, majority of the energy to herself. Thanks for your input, guys. Anyway, I'm done with my lunch, so I'm gonna hurry up and go find Sachi. I stand up and head for the stairway. And we meet her. How's it going? What's up? What's up? Sachi is, yet again, sitting in the same place in the same way as when I first met her. I've been coming by day after day, and each time I leave, it seems like she's a little brighter. It's comforting. Hey, are you doing anything this Sunday? I get right to the point, sitting down in my usual spot. Sunday? No, I don't have any plans. Why do you ask? Well, my mom wanted those sneak peeks for a new movie, but she can't go to it. She gave me the tickets. There's only 2, so I wasn't sure what to do with them at first, but... What? A movie? With me? Don't you have any other friends you could invite? Ugh! Is this her way of rejecting us? Like, don't you have... or is this just being, you know, kind? And why would I be his first choice type thing? I don't know. It's not that I don't, but I don't have enough tickets for both of them. If you refused, I was just gonna give the tickets to them, but I'm asking if you want to go first. Yeah, of course. Oh, but the movie theater is far away, isn't it? Yeah, but we can just take a train, can't we? Or did you not want to travel too far? No, it's not that, just... If we take the train, we have to pay for tickets. Doesn't your aunt give you an allowance or something? Not really. I've never asked for it. Are you and your aunt on bad terms? I don't think she really likes me that much. Though, to be honest, I'm not really sure. You don't know. Don't you live with her? Couldn't you ask your other family members or something? No, it's fine. Really, my family... My mom got sick and died many years ago. As for my dad, I was totally left when I was very young. Oh, my condolences. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, rough subject, of course, but, you know. Usually, it's been a lot of years since, but still. It's not something nice that you like to bring up. Don't worry about it. It's been a long time since then. Well, what about your dad? You said he left? We're going right back into the rough topics, huh? No one ever told me what happened, but he probably left because of me. I think he must have left right after I was born. I don't have any memory of him. Sachi's eyes seem to dim as she tells me this. I suppose she wouldn't really remember if she was that young when he left, but I could see a little glimmer of sadness in her eye when she admitted it. I think that's pretty natural. Not being able to know, like, hey, why did this person leave and not stay for my life type shit. My mom didn't abandon me, though. She did her very best to raise me alone. She was a very kind mother. It was probably too much for one person to handle, though. It took too much of a toll on her body, and after that... Sorry, I didn't mean to be so depressing. No, I brought it up. I'm the one who should be apologizing. So after that, your aunt took custody of you? Yeah, that's right. Aunt Mayumi seemed to be really close with my mom. Before she died, my mom told Mayumi that she was counting on her to take care of me. That's why she adopted me. But I'm sure my aunt hates me. Just hasn't said anything. She probably blames me for unhappiness and the death of her beloved sister. Or, you know, doesn't know how, like, that might be it, but that's way too depressing. And I feel like this game won't be too much of a downer to be like, no, Sachi, you deserve, like, the Sachi punching bag game. It's probably more along the lines of, like, not sure how to approach Sachi, especially because she's not normal of a person. Like, she's a normal person, but she does have the obvious going on with her. So between that and just like the emotional barrier and the coping with both her sister's death and the knowledge that, hey, that's her mom, probably just made it to where there was an emotional barrier that she just ended up not trying to breach on that. I doubt it's something as mean as like, oh yeah, she hates her because her mom died and her sister died and stuff like that. You must not like your aunt very much. No, that's not it. I'm grateful to her for taking care of me. I just don't want to be a nuisance to her. And it wouldn't be right for me to ask her for something as selfish as spending money. I see. Thanks for telling me all that. I've never had anyone to talk to before, so thank you for listening to me. But you know, I really do want to hang out with you. If you want, I can pay for the train ride. Oh, wait. That's the wrong person. But you know, I really do want to hang out with you. If you want, I can pay for the train ride and stuff. I don't mind at all. No, I couldn't. I want to hang out with you too, but I have to go ask Mayumi, or I have to ask Mayumi if I can first. But if you want to pay for me, we should just not go. I don't want to be a nuisance to you any more than my aunt. I don't know about your aunt, but you're not being a nuisance to me at all. But there's no rush. Why don't you decide after you've asked her? Yeah, alright. By the way, since we have to go all the way out to the next town to get to the movie theater, why don't we get there early so we can just wander around a bit? The movie starts in the afternoon, so we can get lunch or something. Okay. I suddenly feel very nervous. I read that as nauseous at first. Come on, this isn't some huge event. We're just gonna have a little fun. Listen up. I'll try. There you go. Oh, that reminds me. Do you have a cell phone? We should exchange numbers before we forget. It'll be useful in case we want to get in touch later on. Oh yeah, I carry one in case of emergencies. Alright. Yeah, I doubt she would have need for anything like modern in terms of like for cell phones. Definitely be something that would be like old and gets the job done more than anything else of in case emergencies. And probably only has like her aunt in her call log or her contacts rather. Cell phone Sachi takes out is ancient, but she fumbles with it awkwardly. It's really plain too, not a single sticker or anything. Not even one of those silly straps. How do I do this? I think you have to press this. She must not use it. In fact, it looks like she barely knows how to use it at all. And I guess that worked. Thank you. Come to think of it, what's the movie about? Alright, I should have told you before. It's some movie from Germany. It doesn't look like it's some huge adventure, more like a drama, I guess. Though the story's pretty light, so maybe it's more like a comedy? I take the flyer that came with the tickets out of my pocket to show Sachi. Oh, that looks interesting. I've never seen it, so I can't tell you if it's interesting or not. Even going to a movie theater is exciting. I've only seen movies on TV. Yeah, no, movie theaters definitely have a different ambience and a whole mood when it comes to movies. I'm not a movie person. I don't generally get into movies all too much because I think the pacing that you can have in a TV show or a book or something like that is just more what I prefer. So I don't generally watch movies too much on my own, but I love going to the movie theaters with my friends because it's just a whole different experience entirely. Even with the whole inflation of going, like the price up going to see the movie and, you know, theater snacks and all that fucking all that nonsense. Even going to a movie theater, oh yeah, I've already seen that. Alright, well, a private showing isn't something you can go to anytime. It's not a regular movie theater, and after it's over, you have to fill out a simple questionnaire. But that also sounds exciting. I'm glad you think so then. Ah, lunch is done. Alright. Hopefully we did manage to actually eat and we just didn't talk the entire time. Alright, see you later. Alright. The next day, I've got a lot on my mind as I'm walking to school along the route Sachi always takes. Hopefully Sachi talked to her aunt about coming to hang out with me. I wonder what her aunt will say. Sachi doesn't seem to think she likes her very much. Sachi's covered in wounds, but her aunt didn't seem concerned about it. Yeah, you know what? That might be... I didn't even think about that aspect of it. That might be definitely a bad part of it. Because if she isn't like caring about her getting abused, whether that's at school or any personal injuries or anything like that, then maybe it isn't. I didn't even stop to think about that for an instant. I feel kind of shitty now, honestly. Maybe Sachi's right. And actually, I did kind of get that impression. She seemed really cold, although I can't really judge her based on the tiny amount of contact I've had with her. So I don't know if that's really how she is. Her aunt did say it was okay. Sachi will naturally refuse, but I still want to take her out even if I have to force her to let me pay for her train ticket. Wasn't that the whole point that Tomo was trying to make yesterday? Was like, hey, if you force her on this, then she'll never actually close the distance between, like, the distance will never close between you two because, you know, at that point you're just like kind of being a little bit of a nuisance to her. If her family isn't supporting her, then that's all the more reason for me to do so. I mull these things over as I walk, staring at the passing pavement beneath me without looking up. Aha! This time, did she catch up to us, or did we just accidentally bump into her? Good morning, Sachi. Something wrong? Nothing. I wasn't looking where I was going, so you caught me by surprise. My bad. I used to Yeah. I'm used to having to catch up with her. This is the first time I've heard her call out to me from behind. She seems happy to see me. I was wondering if I'd see you while I was walking. My aunt said it was okay for me to spend the day with you, senpai. She even said she'd pay for the train and lunch. Wow, that's great. Yeah, no, that's a nice point for the aunt, I guess. I was preparing for the worst. This is a little unexpected. I'm looking forward to Sunday. Yeah, me too. Speaking of which, I heard the movie is actually based off some German novel. Alright, now we've got even more conversation topics. Great. We continue chatting about the movie, what we'll do that day, and other little things until we arrive at school. Sachi seems to be more excited about this than I thought she would be. She doesn't even know that much about the town we're headed to. Sunday. The day I'm going out with Sachi. We decided I would meet her at her house since it's so close to my own. I had some time to spare, so I arrived at Sachi's house a little earlier than we discussed. I don't mind waiting if she still needs to get ready. I ring the doorbell. After a little while, I hear the soft footsteps approaching shortly before the front door opens. Aha! Auntie Mayumi, how's it going? Standing before me was not Sachi, but her Aunt Mayumi. It's not like I wasn't kind of expecting this, but I'm surprised nonetheless, and my body goes rigid. Good morning. I'm here to meet Sachi? Good morning, mamoru-kun. I've heard all about it. Sounds like interrogation more than anything else. I heard all about it, so confess! Feels like Mayumi is searching me for something with her icy gaze. Good morning, senpai. You're here early. Sure enough, Sachi appears behind Mayumi. It seems like she's ready to go, but she looks between Mayumi and me with a troubled expression. I think Sachi is more surprised than I am that Mayumi answered the door. But Mayumi pays Sachi no mind as she stares at me and begins to speak. The movie ends in the evening, right? Once the movie is over, come right home, okay? Right, we will. Yeah, gotta be nervous. Interrogation. Meeting with the guardian, after all. That's always a little bit intimidating. I wasn't planning on staying out that late anyway, but the warning look in her eyes is a little unsettling nonetheless. Alright then, off you go. With that, Mayumi steps aside and lets Sachi out into the street. Yeah, bye. Get a good distance away from Sachi's house before we start speaking again. Just got that much of a presence, huh? We gotta get away from... We have to fucking turn the block in order to actually be able to be comfortable with talking. Huh. Sorry about that. Why are you apologizing? I mean, I was surprised, but it seems like she was just worried about you. She probably just didn't want to have to deal with any trouble I might cause. Actually, I have no idea what she was thinking. Maybe Sachi's right after all. Whatever. Forget about that and let's get going. Yeah, sure. Yeah, get any bad thoughts off the mind. We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun with a new movie and some lunch, and it's going to be a nice little date. Come on. What's wrong? Huh? What do you mean? I was so distracted with thinking about Mayumi that I didn't notice that Sachi's wearing casual clothing. This is the first time I've seen her in it, or in anything other than her uniform. She's wearing a plain skirt and a worn-out hoodie. I realized Sachi put her head up and her head down as soon as we started walking. You really have to walk that way? Huh? This is how I always do it. You not like it? Yeah, I mean, she's just trying to avoid any and all eye contact and drawing attention to herself at that point. Rough. That is rough. No, it's really suspicious looking. I think it would be best if you took off the hood at least. It's suspicious looking? Yeah, when someone has their hood up and they can't see their face, don't you think that person kind of looks suspicious? Oh, I see. Is that how she always does it? I don't know what it's like for her, but still, when she's with me, I don't want her to act weird like that. We're supposed to be walking together, but I can't even see her face. I mean, dude, we calm it back a little bit, like, gotta think about her and her circumstances on this, because she's very clearly not comfortable at, like, any attention that she draws to herself. So, like, this is a little extreme, yeah, but at the same time, it's what she feels comfortable with, and it's what she's kind of doing. I get we're trying to, like, bring her out of her shell more and make her feel more comfortable with herself and have someone to rely on, but baby steps. Baby steps. Look, I know you usually try not to let people see you, but you're with me today, you know? No matter what happens, I'm right here next to you. Okay. Yeah, you're right. She's still anxious and still keeping her head down, but at least she seems to have given up on the hood for now. Right. Let's get going then, shall we? Okay. Aha! A little nice cafe. Since it's the weekend, the station has quite a few people on it, and that goes double for the shopping center we have to go through to get there. The train itself isn't any better. It's so packed, in fact, that I don't think it's going to be possible to have any kind of conversation with Sachi until we arrive at our destination. That said, since our destination isn't particularly far away, it doesn't take that long to get there, and we both feel a little relieved once we get off the train. Yeah, Japanese trains, ugh. There sure are a lot of people out today. You okay? Yeah, I don't really use the train, so I was startled to see so many people on it, but I'm alright. Great. Then why don't we walk around and try to find somewhere to eat? Sure. We start walking towards an area that probably has a place that we can eat at. Actually, I already know where I'm taking her since I looked around for a good place beforehand. Aha! We studied up for the date. We are fully ready for this date. I thought it'd be better to take Sachi to a quieter place where she can let her guard down while we talk, rather than a street with a lot of big shops and tons of people. I try to start a conversation with Sachi, but as I turn my head to look at her, she's nowhere to be found, and I immediately start to panic. I quickly realize she didn't actually disappear. She's just walking several meters behind me for some reason. Why? Weren't we supposed to be walking together? Sachi? I quickly turn around and close the distance between us. Yes, what is it? You not want to walk next to me or something? No, nothing like that. It's just... I don't know if you want me to walk next to you. This is... You know, it's a friendly date. It's not like we're going out or anything. It's a friendly date, but it's still a date nonetheless. Usually, if I'm going to the fucking movie with my best friend or something like that, we're probably going to be walking side by side. Or worst comes to worst, we're going to be like, hey, I'm going to go to the fucking... Like, if I'm going to the mall and I'm with my best friend and we're going to split up, I'm going to be like, hey, I'm going to go to the food court for 20 minutes or something so I can go and grab some food. I'll meet up with you at Barnes & Noble or something like that. But no. What kind of date has you, like, fucking, like, social distancing distance away? I guess in the modern society, maybe, but, like, fuck, dude. No, nothing like that. It's just... I don't... Oh, yeah. Why wouldn't I want you to? What? But if I walk next to you, people might think you know... Because I do know you, and we're friends, Sachi! I do know you. That's why I want to walk with you. Yeah, but... I understand what she's getting at. She definitely draws a lot of attention. I saw that she gets a lot of startled glances and stares from people we passed on the street as we were making our way here. I feel like a lot of them were overreacting, though. That's not exactly surprising to me, either. I guess it's just only natural that she'd want to hide her face to avoid those stares. Maybe stopping her from wearing her hood was not the best idea. And now you think about it. You always do before you think, Mamoru. That's your problem. Put your hood up if it makes you feel better. I want to walk next to you. But you said... She takes a half step backwards, putting a little more distance between us. I don't think there's anything wrong with being seen with you. Come on, don't run away. I close the half-step distance and grab her hand to keep her here. Huh? We're going to be seen together anyway, so we might as well walk together, right? I'm fine with it, but if you don't want to walk with me, just say so and I'll let go of your hand. I don't want to, but this is a little... Her voice becomes a whisper as she stares at the ground, but after a moment she tilts her head up just enough to look at me. Senpai? Is this really okay? Of course! I don't see anything wrong with it. Okay then. Let's go. Thanks. Thank you. Her grip on my hand tightens ever so slightly. Actually, I'm finding myself getting a little flustered as well, but I don't think I could let go of her hand even if I wanted to. Ah, they're cute! They're cute! With our hands clasped together, I start to worry that my grip on her hand is a little too tight, or that I'm walking too quickly for her. As I become aware of everything I could be doing wrong, I quickly start to feel very embarrassed. I'm too focused on these details to actually make conversation with Sachi. I try to calm down, forcing myself not to think about anything and focusing only on feeling of Sachi's hand in mine. Her slender hand is warm, Faintly, I could feel that warm flood into my own hand. She adjusts her grip and rough spots in her hand, smooth skin gently scrape against my palm. They feel like they might be scabs or something. Wait, didn't this hand have a bandage on it before? The shallow grooves on her soft hand are strangely alluring, and I unconsciously trace them with my fingers. Sachi's own fingers twitch in response, though I'm not sure whether this is a reflex or not. Thinking I've offended her, I glance at Sachi only to find that she's already staring at me with her one big eye. Sorry. It's fine. I was just wondering, like, are those scars on your hands? I wanted to feel them to make sure. It's okay. You can touch them if you want. Blood rushes to her smiling face. I think mine probably turns just as red. That cafe, do you want to eat lunch here? I saw it when I was looking for good places to eat before we came. I've heard a few good things about it. I point at the first place that I see that looks like it might serve food, so much for the place I had planned to take us to. It wasn't the most elegant way of changing the subject, but I couldn't take the embarrassment. Oh, it looks nice. Do you want to get lunch now then? Oh, here's hoping the fucking cafe is actually good and we didn't just take it to some bum place. Like, that would be the worst. Well, it's still a little early for lunch. Maybe we should wander around a bit more and then come back later. That's true. Okay, let's come back later. And with that, Sachi's hold on my hand grows tighter. This time, I squeeze back. We didn't look like a couple when we left. We certainly do now. After that, we explored the area a bit. I enjoyed that, but we didn't say much to each other. Not that it was an uncomfortable silence. Sometimes I'd look over at Sachi, and no matter where she was looking, she was always wearing a cheerful expression. Aren't you getting bored of just wandering around? No, not at all. Even just walking around like this is fun. There's so much to see, and all these stores look interesting. Really? Well, if you see a store you like, let me know. We can stop and take a look inside if you want. Yeah, do some window shopping though. I mean, we don't need to buy anything. Window shopping is just fine. That's fun in its own right. And talk about it and like, hey, look at this. Hey, look at this. Hey, look at this. And it's part of the allure of going out. We can just browse, even if you don't plan on buying anything, and there's nothing wrong with looking, you know? I suppose not. Hey, this one looks interesting, don't you think? I stop in front of the stores we're passing. Peeking in through the double doors, we see the store has a trendy atmosphere with big decorations. It's selling accessories, clothing, and other classy-looking merchandise. There isn't really anything here for someone who doesn't care about the latest fashion and trends, but at least there are still a lot of unusual things to look at. I've never been in a store like this. Maybe you can find something you like. How about this? I take something I think Sachi might like off the display just outside the door and I offer it to her. These are sunglasses? She's so confused. Try them on. Huh? Okay. She puts on the sunglasses over her face, which now looks even more puzzled. They're totally natural, of course. These sunglasses, with their two lenses, are only to make it harder for her with one eye to see. They obviously don't suit her, but her reaction is too adorable and charming. Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. Are you making fun of me, senpai? Sachi suddenly becomes very obviously. Oh no! Oh no! Come on, Mamoru. Can you start thinking before you do and not doing before you think? I really should have been more sensitive about her eye. No, I'm really sorry. I won't do anything like that again. I'm just joking. Just a little payback. Having turned the tables on me, she can't help but let that smile slip back onto her face. I didn't expect her to pull something like that. Man, can't believe you got me with that. Seriously though, I am sorry. I should be more considerate of your, It's okay, it's okay. I know you didn't mean anything by it. That's true, but still. Anyway, how do we even broach that subject? I don't know. Sorry about your, eye. Your eye. Anyway, I'd suggest we check out the store, but actually, I think it's about time we ate lunch. Sure, let's go find that cafe again. Sachi doesn't seem to be upset at all, but I'm a little disappointed that she won't get a chance to check out the store. I take one last look inside, and one of the shelves catches my eye. Hey, which do you like out of blue, green, and orange? Huh? Well, orange. Why? No reason. Well, wait here for a second. Okay. I run into the store, leaving Sachi, who was genuinely confused this time, behind. Sorry about that. That was quick. Did you buy something? Yeah, look. Oh, that's cute. A nice little sunflower cell phone strap. I showed the cell phone strap to Sachi. It's a simple orange flower dangling off a green string to make it look like a stem. Oh, how cute. Is that for your cell phone? No, yours. Huh? Mine? Why? I guess something to remember today by? What? No, I couldn't. You hang on to it, senpai. Even if I did, I wouldn't use it. Well, let me pay you for it then. I just bought it on a whim. Don't worry about it. Think of it as thanks for hanging out with me. Take it. Are you sure? Of course. It wasn't that expensive anyway, so don't feel like you owe me. Well, okay. Thank you very much. No problem. I noticed your phone doesn't have any kind of decorations on it, so I figured you might like it. But if you don't have to put it on your phone or anything like that. No, it's really cute. I think it's lovely. I'll put it on right now. Ah, that's nice. And the orange complements, or the red complements the orange, or does the orange complement the red? Looks good. I was afraid the color might be too bright, but if it's the only one hanging there, it might actually work out nicely. Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much, Mamoru-senpai. She looks so happy, tightly grasping her phone and smiling at the strap. My pleasure. Anyway, we should start heading to the cafe. We have a little time to spare, but if the place is crowded, we'll never get there before the movie starts unless we go now. Yeah, right. Let's go. Senpai? For some reason, Sachi's voice seems to be quivering as she calls out to me. Huh? I think I can guess what she's about to say, but I don't know if she's thought it through. A few moments pass in silence, then I wordlessly take her hand. Ah! She wanted to hold hands again. That's adorable! Oh my god. Sachi doesn't say anything and instead just squeezes my hand tightly as we start walking. Before long, we arrive at the cafe we found earlier. Luckily, there aren't too many people and we find a table more or less immediately. It's warm enough today that sitting outside is comfortable, so we take one of the outdoor tables and start looking through the menu. I wonder if I should get a sandwich or not. I'm not sure I'm that hungry. A sandwich does sound good. Oh, this looks delicious. It doesn't take too long for us to decide, and we soon place our orders. As we're waiting for our food, Sachi's gaze keeps drifting onto me, only to flit away as soon as I notice. It seems like she wants to say something, but she's not sure how to say it. What's up? Senpai, do you want to touch my scars? That has no segue at all. I don't know how you would even begin to segue that, though. This takes me so off guard. Yeah, no, it is definitely out of nowhere. This takes me so off guard that I start sputtering like an idiot. What? What do you mean? Nothing. It's just, you were touching them before, so I thought you might want to. I see. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say in this situation. Since I met you, you've done so much for me, Mamoru-senpai, but I've never done even one thing for you. I want to do something to repay you for all the times you've made me happy, but I can't really think of anything. Sorry, that must be really a creepy thing to ask. Please, just forget about it. I get the feeling that Sachi thinks she owes me a debt. She really doesn't have that much social experience after all. After thinking about this strange proposal for a bit, I realize she really is trying to repay me in her own way. Well, yeah, sure. Huh? Your scars, I want to, touch them? Can I? This is weird. This is a little bit weird. I can't think of this as repaying a debt, but being able to be together with her is reward enough. Though saying that to her probably wouldn't change her mind anyway. I feel like her letting me touch her scars will somehow lighten the burden she carries every day. Even if this is a strange thing to do, this is for Sachi's sake. I did ask you, but it's not like I actually want to feel her scars. Or at least that's how I should feel. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Trembling, she puts her right hand on the table. Thanks. But intentionally touching another person's injuries like this is really weird. I feel apprehensive about doing it. Before I only felt them because we were holding hands, but this time I'm doing it on purpose. And a girl's hand is obviously much smaller than mine. The scars cover more of her palm than I thought they might. Now that I can see them closely, it looks like they've mostly healed. The bandages that cover them seem to be removed a few days ago, and any pain or bleeding that must have subsided by now. I run my thumb along the smooth outline of the scars, tracing them. There's not much left of the scabs that must have covered these scars only a few days ago. I never got a good look at them until now. They aren't as rough as I thought they might be. I glide my thumb along the inside of the pale grooves and then back out to the edges. Scabs still occupy the very center of her scars. She would probably start bleeding again if the scabs were picked off. These scabs will probably start falling off soon, actually. I'm sure they were huge when they were fresh. The skin outlining the scabs is bright pink, closer to the center and white. The center of the scar is sunken as though her palm was cut out, and I let my thumb creep into the depression. Oh, is that weird? Is that weird? It's definitely weird. No, it didn't. That part's still sensitive after all. I'm fine. Don't worry. I look up at Sachi apologetically, and after seeing her face has become much redder than when we entered the cafe, having someone examine your hand this intensely in public would probably be embarrassing for anyone. Yeah, you're fucking holding... Like, I didn't touch on it before you because you were holding hands, but now you're just, like, fucking using both your hands to hold her one? What a degenerate. I try rubbing her scar for a bit. I probably shouldn't be enjoying this so much, but sometimes when I put pressure on her hand, she makes a really cute expression as she flinches ever so slightly. She's adorable in these moments, and seeing that makes me want to rub that part of her scab that's still healing. Excuse me. Ah, the waitress. Good. Nice. Break us out of our little stupor that we've got going on here. I hurriedly give Sachi back her hand, leaving the table clear, and the waitress puts our sandwiches in front of us. Do you need anything else? Oh, no, thank you. When she brought our food, the waitress looks Sachi over curiously, and then as she left, she shot me a strange, almost wary glance. I guess I really deserve that, though. I'm ashamed to look at Sachi now. Thanks, Sachi. Yeah, if you want to touch them again, just ask. What? She actually wants me to touch them again? No way! I shouldn't have touched them in the first place. Well, our food's here. Let's eat. Right. Hey, this is pretty good. How's yours? Mine's good too. I'm glad we came here. Things get pretty awkward between us after that, and even after a normal conversation, even a normal conversation feels out of place. I think it's about time we headed to the movie. Okay. We finished our lunch, and it seems like the awkward atmosphere between us has cleared up. I think we'll get there a little early, but at least we can get some good seats this way. If we get there too late, the seats will be filled up, and we'll get stuck in the very back of the... Hey, I'd rather be stuck in the back of the theater than the fucking front. God forbid. Can't you have to crane your neck up the entire time? I'm good, fam. I am super good. Oh, would we? We head towards the place with the movie theater is, or where the movie is being shown. We're not that far away though, so it only takes us a few minutes to get there. This is it. There are already people lining up? Looks like it. They'll probably let everyone in soon though. I can't wait until we see the movie. Yeah, I hope it's a good one. And the movie is less than 2 hours long. Ah, over. We don't even get a cute CG of like her staring in awe at the movie or something like that, or you know, something along those lines. Nice little describer and anything. Oh, for shame, for shame. I was looking forward to that CG. The movie is less than 2 hours long, and we soon find ourselves out in front of the theater again. I stretch and breathe in the cool evening air, happy to be moving around after sitting inside for so long. The movie was great, wasn't it? Yeah, better than I thought it was going to be. The story was about a mischievous kid who gets put into a boarding school, makes some friends, and works with his teacher to make their school play a success. Based off a children's book, so the whole thing is fun and lighthearted. We discussed what we thought of the movie. Sachi seems to have loved it, But eventually, her voice gets quieter and she starts hanging her head again. The main character sure had a lot of friends and a nice teacher, and they were able to win in a tough situation. It's a really nice story. Maybe if I was born a normal person, I'd be stronger like him. She gets quieter and quieter, and eventually I can barely make out what she's saying. I'm not sure if she's talking to me anymore. Hey, Sachi. Oh, yeah? Earlier you were saying how you wanted to repay me for what I've done for you, right? But you know, I'm just getting to be with you. Just getting to be with you is enough for me. I know I can't decide for her what she thinks no matter how many times I say that. But we spend all day together. That shows how I feel pretty clearly, doesn't it? I know I've said this before, but I'm here for you no matter what. Anything you need, I'll help however I can. I don't know if I can be considered a good-natured person, but I can say for sure that I care for her from the bottom of my heart. What I felt when I first saw her can only be described as love at first sight. Hey! We got the title drop! We got the title drop! Oh, man. We got the title drop. There we go. I guess we're near the end then. The more I tell Sachi how I feel, and the more time we spend together, the stronger our bond will get. I feel like I can't take my eyes off her now. I mean, not that I can help that much. I can't do what's impossible for me, but... And there are some things I won't do anyway. I don't want to impose on you, senpai. Sachi's as stubborn as always. When it comes to another person helping her, I know I won't get her to just meekly accept this like she does everything else. I'm not giving up, though. Even if she doesn't want to impose on me, I want to be by her side. I want to make sure she can keep smiling. But thank you for the offer. I'm really glad that we got to meet, Mamoru-senpai. I'm much happier now than I was before. But, you know, there are still a lot of fun things we can do. Oh, I know. I want to introduce you to my friends so we can all hang out together. Your friends? Are you sure that's a good idea? Yeah, totally. Trust me, they're good people. And besides, I've already told them about you. You think it's okay? Well, alright. I'll look forward to meeting them then. Great. Oh, we should probably start heading home, shouldn't we? It's not actually that late, but the sun is setting, and it's starting to get dark. At this point, it's probably best to do what Sachi's aunt wanted and head straight home. Yeah, it's getting late. Actually, can I ask a favor? What do you want? Or what do you need? Can we hold hands on the way home? Yeah, I think that's a favor I can grant. I take Sachi's hand in mine without hesitation. I feel the warmth of her hand as she squeezes mine, and suddenly it feels like the day when she'll let herself rely on me isn't so far off. Aww. Cry one's eye out. Her side. Ah. We're going to be getting a different perspective on all this. That's interesting. The last bell rings, and the school ends, so I grab my bag and leave the classroom. Most of the time, I leave as quickly as I can because I don't want to get caught by Sadakawa-san. But today, it's because I want to hurry to meet Mamoru-senpai. Lately, coming to school has been something I look forward to, and I can't help but feel excited about it. It's even better because I keep running into senpai. The old me would never have believed it's possible to be this happy at school. That's not to say that Sadakawa-san has stopped bullying me. Sometimes Mamoru-senpai is there to intervene, but I don't know if that's actually been the best idea. Sadakawa has stopped bullying me as much as she used to, but now when she does it, her attacks are even more violent than before. Even so, I don't hate going to school anymore. The joy I feel when I spend time with Mamoru-senpai is so much more powerful than the sorrow brought on by those painful incidents. I couldn't meet with senpai this morning, but he must have been thinking about me. He came to eat with me at lunch and stayed with me the whole lunch period. We talked about the movie we saw yesterday. I really had a lot of fun. The movie itself was interesting, but that was my first time seeing a movie with another person, and I also had a lot of fun just walking around with him. Senpai wasn't upset at being seen with me in public either, And we even held hands when I asked. It was wonderful. Now that I think about it, that was a date yesterday, wasn't it? I wonder what Senpai thinks of that. I really miss him, and I want to see him again. I usually find him right by the school gates, but today I went to meet him right at his classroom. I stand just outside the hallway, so as not to attract any wandering eyes. If I see Mamoru-senpai, I'll call out to him. Second-year students trickle out of the classroom and head down the hallway without paying me any mind. I don't see Senpai yet, though. Just as I'm worrying that I might have missed him, I overhear two second-year students talking in the hallway. Alright, time to go home. What? Wait, where's Makun? Oh, Mamoru said he couldn't find the hangout. Mamoru said he couldn't find the handout and wanted to look in his locker for it. At any rate, he's going to go home with you-know-who again, so I doubt we'll be seeing him. This catches my attention. They're talking about Mamoru-senpai. I think. Is Makun his nickname? I guess those are his friends. Aw, really? We haven't gone home together in a long time. It's making me so sad. We never really went home with him in the first place, you know? We live in completely opposite directions. But it's the principle of the thing. We at least walked to the gates together, and now we don't even do that. It's because he's been spending so much time with that girl. They mean me? Yeah, what's up with that? It's no fair. How long is he gonna keep this up? Oh no! Oh no! She's gonna think that they hate her, but they don't. It's just they want to spend time with their friend. Oh no. That's bad. That's bad. Just let him do what he wants to do. I'm sure he'll return to us when the time is right. Then again, it's been quite a while. Maybe we should find her ourselves. Oh, I can't believe it. Tomo agrees with me on something. Alert the media! Okay, tomorrow, we're gonna find her. I've got this all planned out. I start to feel overwhelming tightness in my chest. I can feel my good mood dissolving rapidly. I can't bear to listen to this anymore and retreat down the stairs as quietly as I can. Finally, the day where Sachan will grace us with her presence is almost here. I've run God damn it, she left at the worst timing. I've run simulations of our fateful meeting countless times in my head, so I'll be ready for anything. I'm totally prepared to be the super friendly older sister type person she needs. Hey Tomo, are you listening? Huh? Oh yeah, I thought I saw something just now. Yeah, I'm listening. Sorry, something about super annoying older sister, right? What? No, you did that on purpose. Yep, I sure did. You meanie! Ugh, oh man, she's gonna get the wrong idea of this all. I guess I really have stolen him from his other friends. I wonder, oh, she has gotten the super wrong idea out of this. Oh man, I feel bad now. I wonder if those are the friends he said he was going to introduce me to yesterday. He did say he told me about them. She said she couldn't survive like this? I guess she meant without Mamoru-senpai. Mamoru-senpai said it was okay to meet them, but now I don't know if that's really the case. His friends must hate him for spending so much time with me. I didn't realize how much trouble I've caused him. My heart feels heavy. My body feels heavier. Like, I feel like that's one of those... This is a little bit of a weird thing, but I feel like... Oh, she's not that socially inclined either, so we can chalk it up to that. But I almost feel like this is the type of thing where, like, you could tell the tone of their voice. Like, yeah, they're just like, oh man, I can't wait until we get to spend time with them. Or, like, spend time together with our friend and stuff like that, rather than anger or annoyance or anything like that. Although maybe it was sounding like that a little bit. I don't know. Obviously, this game doesn't have voice acting, so we can't exactly tell, but oh well. It's also, she's very, like, so not socially developed, so, like, she definitely would have gotten the wrong idea out of it regardless of the tone of voice, I feel. My body feels heavier, like the weight of this whole situation is dragging me down. My vision darkens. I don't have enough strength to lift my head as I walk forward. The asphalt looks grayer than normal. Senpai's going to lose all his friends because of me. I can't let that happen. When I was with him, he let me forget my troubles. No. I only wanted to forget. I can never forget what I am. I only have one eye. No one could ever love a freak like me. I mean, you're still a normal person, just with a, you know, difference. The physical difference. But the physical difference doesn't make up what's on, or doesn't mean anything for what's on the inside. We're all the same on the inside. The fact that Senpai was so nice to me made me so happy, and so he let me forget. But I can't let my misfortune infect him. I could never forget him. I could never forgive myself in his life. I could never forgive myself if his life is ruined because of me. I couldn't survive if he ended up hating me. Maybe it's not too late. Maybe his life isn't ruined yet. He doesn't hate me yet. I have to act fast. Yesterday, Mamoru Senpai said he would be there for me if I needed him, but I can't let him shoulder my burdens. If I had let him, I wouldn't be able to save him. I was so happy when he said it, but I suppose it was good that I was at a loss for words back then. Even so, I'll always remember the kindness he showed me. He bought me my cell phone strap too. At least I'll have this to remember him by when things go wrong again. At least I'll have this to bring back all the good memories. Like yesterday, and all the time I spent with Senpai, his kind voice. If I have this much at least, I'll be okay. I'll be okay even if all I have left of him is a memory. No, come on, we can't let this gap open up. Come on. Before I realize that the school is far behind me, and I've wandered onto the one side of the streets that I usually take to get home, I find I can barely stand, and I lean against the telephone pole, still staring at the ground. Rain. Oh, the rain is coming down for the dramatic tension to make her even feel even worse. Oh, man. The sun is out, but that doesn't matter, I guess. Oh, man. Oh no, it's her teardrops. It doesn't rain. Fuck. Fuck. That doesn't feel good at all. That feels horrible in my feelings. A black sheen seems to ooze over the... especially because this is all over a misunderstanding. Black sheen seems to ooze over the asphalt as it drinks in the heavy drops. That's strange. Every day for the past few weeks, it's been bright and sunny. I've gotten so used to that. I almost forgot what it's like when it rains. I have to do it. I have to say goodbye. Senpai. My vision blurs as heavy drops continue to fall. Oh. Ah! Fuck! Hey, everything's happy. Oh, man. I stayed in class longer than I meant to today. Sachi's probably been waiting for me for a while. I'm usually the first one out the door, sometimes leaving a little too early, but Sachi always beats me to the school gate since her classroom is closer to it than mine is. I change to my shoes and rush out the door. Sachi usually comes running to meet me when she sees me walking the gates, but now I'm past it, and Sachi's nowhere to be found. Did she already go home? I scan the street for any sign of her, and see that she's still only a little ways ahead of me, though it doesn't look like she's noticed me yet. Ah, time to catch up! Sorry, I didn't mean to take so... Sachi? She turns to me, her face is almost parallel to the ground, and her usual smile has been replaced with much darker ones. Has she been crying? Mamoru-senpai, thank you so much for all you've done for me. But I'll be fine on my own from now on. I don't mind going home and having lunch by myself, so... Sachi's voice wavers, and I'm certain something bad must have happened to her if she's saying this. I take a step towards her, determined to find out what. What are you saying all of a sudden? Does Sadakawa do something to you again? No, she's not involved. I just think it's best if you have nothing to do with me. That's all. What? I don't understand why you think that. There's nothing to understand. Her head is still down, but her voice is fraying, becoming hysterical. If this is another trick, it's not funny. I'm here with you because I want to be. Do you really want to be alone at school again? Stop. Please. At least tell me why. Sachi turns her back to me and starts running before I even finish. Wait! I run after her, sprinting, and catch up her by the shoulder. We come to a stop and I forcibly turn her to face me, but she refuses to look at me. Please stop. I know you're set on being my friend, but if you do, She looks up to me, her face is sopping wet from giant tears streaming down from her eye. I don't know what you're trying to say. Like I said, if something happened, tell me. Friends, they hate that you hang out with me. My friends? I did tell her that I would introduce her to Akemi and Tomo, but I can't imagine they'd ever say something like that. Which friends were these? Did you actually talk to them? They'd never say something like that. You must have misunderstood something. You're the one who's misunderstanding. Will you still think that when your friends abandon you? If you stay friends with me, you'll lose everything! They won't abandon me, but any friend who does is not someone I want to be friends with anyway. Why do you have to be so nice? Stop it! It's already hard enough to accept that you're going to abandon me yourself. I'm not going to abandon you either. Never. Why do you have to say things like that? Do you want to be my friend so badly that you throw your whole life away? Why? I don't get it. Yes, I do. I want to be a friend forever. Why? It's stupid. Can't you trust that I have a good reason for doing this? I can't believe you do something so stupid, senpai. She trails off. I know what she wants me to say, and I know I can't say it. I have to tell her everything that's on my mind. I didn't realize it until just now, but I know why I want to be with her. I love you, Sachi. Huh? Going to the movie yesterday. That was more or less a date. I guess you didn't realize it. That... I understand if you hate me. Of course I don't hate you, senpai. I really like you. I love you. That's true. Don't tell me to abandon you. I'm happy when I'm with you, and I could never dream of abandoning you. Really? You're really happy with me? I really am. I know I couldn't stand it if you abandoned me, then, but I'm only gonna cause you trouble. That's fine. As long as you're by my side, I can handle any trouble that comes our way. Senpai. I go to her and take her into my arms, as she starts crying her eye out. She sobs into my chest for a long while. When she finally calms down, I wipe her tears away. It's time we started heading home. She told me about my friends, who, from the sound of it, were definitely Tomo and Akemi, and what she heard them saying. That does seem like something they'd say. You must have understood something. I'll ask them about it tomorrow. Don't worry. Okay. Don't worry. Don't worry, I said. Even if you heard them right, I won't abandon you. Thank you. She's still upset, but there's genuine relief in her voice. We soon arrive at Sachi's house. I'll deal with my friends. Don't worry. See you tomorrow, okay? Okay. Senpai? Yeah? Can I be your girlfriend? Do you want to? Ah, yeah, this is as awkward as I wanted it to be. Hell yeah. Well, then I guess this is the official start of our relationship. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, me too. Sachi looks so happy throughout the whole awkward exchange. It makes me that much happier seeing her like that. And I smile back at her. Then see you tomorrow? Yep, see you tomorrow. And hey, everyone's together. And I got an aptly named achievement, everyone. The next day, lunchtime. I'm meeting with Tomo and Akemi in our usual spot, the empty classroom. But this time, we've got a fourth person joining us. I'm Usui Sachi. Nice to meet you. Ochuei Tomoyori. Pleasure. I'm Tsunemi Akemi. Nice to meet you. Sorry about yesterday. I guess you were the one I saw running away. Now that I review how our conversation went, I can see how you could have misunderstood our intentions. Yeah, we're really, really, really sorry. We don't hate you, Sachan. Not even a little bit. It's okay. I was the one eavesdropping on when I shouldn't have been, and I almost caused trouble between you two and Mamoru-senpai. Please, forgive me. This morning, I told Tomo and Akemi about what happened yesterday. Sachi definitely misunderstood what they meant. They didn't want to get her out of my life, of course. They just really wanted to meet her. In fact, I'd say it worked out perfectly, since it gave us an excuse to bring Sachi into the classroom for lunch. Well, I don't think there's any ill will between us now, so I hope we can be friends from here on out. Right. Actually, when I heard about what happened, I knew I just had to meet you right away and make it right between us, Sachan. So yeah, let's be friends. Yeah, I'd like that. Sachan? Come on. If you're gonna be a bother to her, at least wait until she knows you better. I'm not being a bother to her. So yeah, if you don't mind, I hope you don't mind if I call you Sachan. Your name's Sachi, so Sachan's the perfect nickname. Okay, sure. Yay, thanks! Oh yeah, so you can call me whatever you want, okay? Okay then, Kemi-senpai? You really have to be so formal? How about Achan or Kemin? Or Akamin? Cut it out. She's already got enough to deal with right now. Someone help me out here. What do you want me to do? Stop a Kemi from being a Kemi? The two of us can't really get a word in edgewise while Kemi's going on like this, so Tomo starts plugging the rampaging of Kemi's mouth with food from her lunchbox like he did yesterday or last time this happened. Akemi's always too loud, so Tomo doesn't have the best manners, but I promise they're good people. Okay. Hey, don't talk about us like we're not right in front. Akemi's recovering from Tomo's intervention more quickly than usual, but Tomo's ready for it, and he cramps more food into her mouth. As soon as she opens it, the two have gotten pretty close. Sorry, it's not easy to keep those two in check. If they get out of hand, just tell them to shut up. No, I couldn't. It's fine, they're used to it. You just have to show them who's boss. We're not animals, you know. You shouldn't listen to boys who say mean things, Sachan. Be friends with me instead. Okay, yeah, sure. Even though Sachi shies away from she is really trying hard. It's a little bit on the awkward side, but she's trying her damnedest, and that is more than enough. And plus, honestly, I'm sure this is probably the happiest that she's ever been, in a long while at the very least. Because, you know what? She has friends, and she has people that she can laugh and have fun with. Even if we didn't get off on the best foot, like Sachi with Mamoru and Sachi with Tomo and Akemi, it doesn't matter because at least we're here now and everyone's smiling. Well, Tomo's not, but you know, Tomo's mentally smiling, I'm sure. Even though Sachi shies away from the rampaging Akemi, she's smiling a little. She does look like she's having fun. Maybe she won't have such a hard time getting used to this after all. I know. Since we're all trying to get to know Sachan better, why don't the four of us go out this weekend? Akemi, don't pressure her into doing things. I'm not pressuring her, so what do you think? Huh? So soon after meeting you guys? Are you sure? I don't see why not, but where would we go? Oh! I just remembered that there's some kind of event happening in town. It's got food stands and everything. Really? I didn't hear anything about that. What kind of event are we talking about? No idea. Akemi, what the hell? But I saw it in a flyer on some bulletin board somewhere. They even had a picture of food stands. Well, if it's a festival, we probably won't have to use much money anyway. So why don't we just go check it out? If it's just in town, we can even walk there without too much trouble. Right. I'll find out when and where it is, and we'll be all set. I don't know. Sachi, are you okay with this? Yeah, I want to go. Thank you so much for doing all this for me. Don't worry about it. We're going to hang out a lot more after this, aren't we? I guess we're finally going out as a group. This is basically a double date, isn't it? I don't think that's really what Akemi intended, but she and Tomo are almost a couple no matter how you look at it. Come to think of it, I haven't really explained my relationship with Sachi to these two yet. Not that I've been meaning to hide it, but I should probably clear that up right away. Alright, so Tomo, it looks like you were right about the reason I was fussing over Sachi so much. I see. Did you tell her? Yeah, it went well. I see. Well, congratulations. What are you two talking about? Oh, how do I answer that? Like I said, I'm not exactly trying to hide it, but I have a feeling Akemi would go crazy over me admitting that I have a crush, and I don't know if Sachi can deal with that. I'll tell you about it later. Thanks, Tomo. What? I guess I don't mind you telling me later, but now I'm really curious. Senpai? Sachi doesn't seem to get it either, and she just looks up at me with a puzzled expression. I'll tell you about it later as well. Well, it might take some time, but I'm sure Sachi will be comfortable around these two soon enough. What did you think about Akemi and Tomo? Not too bad, right? Not at all. Tomo-senpai seemed a little scary at first, but I realized that he wasn't scary at all once I started talking to him. Akemi-senpai is really cheerful and lively. They're both really nice. Akemi wanted to walk home with Sachi and me after school, but her and Tomo's houses are in the opposite direction. As Tomo was dragging her off, she waved at Sachi and yelled, "See you tomorrow!" And we headed home ourselves, talking in the same path I'm sure that's meant to be walking the same path we always do. You know, if she's bothering you, there's nothing wrong with telling her so. She certainly has a lot of energy, but I really like being around her. If I could talk to people as easily as she does, I think I'd be really happy. I'm glad that you like her so much then. I think you'll get used to their quirks. To be honest, I haven't known them that long myself. I've never had plans for the weekend though, aside from our... Anyway, I'm looking forward to going out with everyone. It's gonna be great. Akemi came up with a good plan this time, it seems. But yeah, let loose and have fun. Okay, I'll try. Don't try to have fun. You know, just have fun. That's not what I mean. I have a lot to worry about now. What about? We're going to be hanging out with other people, so I don't want to look all shabby like this, with my clothes all tattered and stuff, since I'm, your girlfriend now, I mean. I can't change my face and I don't have any stylish clothes. Oh wait, I can't change my face and I don't have any stylish clothes, but I can at least brush my hair and cover up my wounds. Oh yeah, that wouldn't hurt. I think I should take off the bandage around my head, too. Oh, right, senpai. Yeah? You, want to touch my scar? Oh, no. Is this, like, a special thing to her now? Oh, man. Huh? I didn't think she'd ever bring that up again. I'm not really sure what to say. The one on my forehead, I mean. It doesn't hurt anymore, so it's fine if you want to touch it. Do you? I mean... Last time you let me, it was because you wanted to repay me. Is that what you're doing right now? I'm still grateful to you, Mamoru-senpai. I still want to repay you, but I'm your, girlfriend. So, this time, it's because I want to make you happy. Oh, well, thanks. That does make me happy. I know it's a weird thing to ask. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Just forget it. No, I do want to. Ah, this is something that you are now wanting to do. I see. She seems so set on it, so I guess I can't get out of this. I know she wants me to do something nice for me, but isn't this kind of strange? Not that I don't have any interest in touching her scars, but... Wait, are we doing this here? Are we on the way home from school? I guess we are on a street without anyone else around, but... Oh, this way, senpai. She takes me by the hand and leads me to a narrow alley. This is weird. It's like very private, but like weird. And I don't know how any way you can spin this other than like strange. Of like, yeah, okay, we need to go into an alleyway so nobody can see us touching her scars. That's a weird one. That's not something I'm used to. That's not something I would expect. She takes me by the hand and leads me to a narrow alleyway between two buildings. Hey, okay. Can you take off my bandage, please? She leans her back against the nearby wall and looks at me expectantly. Moving here hasn't really changed anything. It'll be a lot stranger if anything happens or anyone happens upon us. And anyone who walks past this alleyway will probably see us. The space between Sachi and me suddenly seems almost solid, but I force myself to wade through it as she keeps her eye focused on me. Alright, just a second. I can't help but hesitate a bit, but after a moment, I steel myself and put my own bag down next to Sachi's and face her. Right, I have to take off her bandages first, I guess. I reach my hand towards Sachi's bandages and begin to unfasten them as Sachi tilts her head forward and closes her eye. I'm only taking off her bandage, but she suddenly looks completely vulnerable. I start to feel like I'm about to violate her somehow. Yeah, I'm sure the setting doesn't help, because hey, we can't be seen doing this in public. Let's go into the alleyway where no one will see us doing something so debaucherous like you touching my scars. Like, doesn't help the overall mood of doing something wrong. I begin to unravel the bandages from her head, looping them around my hands so they won't fall to the floor. As I remove more and more of the wrapping, the gauze between it begins to show. Finally, I get the last of it off, and discard what I've collected on top of our stuff. With the bandages off her head, Sachi opens her eye and looks up at me. I look down to meet her eye as it gleams wetly from the faint light that penetrates the alley. Gazing at the upturned eye before me, I suddenly feel like I'm falling into it. The feeling is so intense, and I can't tear myself away from that black pit. Go ahead. I more want to use this opportunity to give head pats than to touch scars at this point, honestly. She shuts her eye again, closing what little distance there is left between us. She puts her hand on my chest and leans into me. Her touch takes me by surprise, but after a moment, I put my own hand on her shoulder. I smooth over her messy hair and free my hand and brush her bangs away from her eye. I feel her shoulder tense and run my fingers over her hair. She must be as nervous as I am. The scar that was hidden beneath the bandages is on the right side of her head, just below her hairline. The outline of her wound has started to turn dark purple like a bruise, but the wound itself is a slanted cut, has all but closed up. The cut isn't actually that big, but the dark outline makes it look worse than it is. Yeah, head injuries. Head injuries don't usually do too good. Usually it's like one of those weird things where it's always like, because it's a head, it always is more extreme than it actually is. I remember like fucking busted my head on a chimney when I was a kid, and it was just like a small cut, but it bled everywhere because, you know, it's a head injury. The cut isn't actually that big, but the dark outline makes it. Yeah. I steady my hand over her temple and gently brush my finger over the wound, trying my best not to hurt her. As I slide my head over her face, she lets out a breath that she'd been holding, and the strength seems to drain out of her. I feel the weight of her slight body press on my chest as she leans into me more, but I steady my hand. I trace the wound, making sure to be even more careful than I was with the one on her hand. The weight on this wound is rough. In contrast to its smoother edges, my finger seems to be coming back to it. Sachi suddenly seems completely exhausted, and her shoulders shudder beneath my hand. The hand over her wound freezes up. Sachi opens her hand and looks at me again. I'm okay. And again, she seems to lose all her strength, all but collapsing into my arms. I start stroking her wound once. This is weird. The way this is like written is weird. It's weirdly like erotic. This is weird. And after a little while, she begins to shudder whenever my fingers make contact with her skin. Yeah, it's like I'm reading like a soft H scene despite just touching scars. I'm not all the way comfortable with it. I'm just touching her wound, but it's starting to feel like I'm doing yeah, exactly. Exactly what I was just bringing up. Sachi huddled in my arms as she seems so drained. Like she doesn't have enough strength to stand up anymore, and I'm the only thing supporting her. Thanks, for that. I think I'm satisfied. Yeah, right. I don't know what I might have been done if we hadn't stopped. Oh my god, dude. I wanted her to stay like that so badly. Her pressed up like that with my arms wrapped around her, but I had to end it. Oh, okay. Sachi seems reluctant to separate from me, and she stares up at me longingly. For several moments, neither of us can tear ourselves away from each other's gaze, but I force myself to break away. I gather our bags up off the floor and hand Sachi's over to her. Here you go. Oh, thank you. We exit the narrow hallway with Sachi's bandages in tow and start heading home again. Senpai? Yeah? Did you, like it? Oh, yeah, I did. Thanks. You can touch it anytime you want. This is weird! It's like written out as like, it's almost like a dummied out H scene or something like that. And it's like, instead, what do we use for the dummied out H scene? Oh, just have her touch her scars, I guess? Sure. I feel like I might lose my mind if this sort of thing it keeps happening. I can't ask her to let me do that again. The two of us walk on in silence, unsure of what to say to each other. I keep glancing at Sachi out of the corner of my eye, and eventually, I catch her doing the same to me. When our gazes meet, we both remain silent, but Sachi smiles broadly. I can't help but smile in return, though I feel really embarrassed and quickly look straight ahead again. The silly incident repeats itself a few times before we finally arrive at Sachi's house. Well, see you tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Just as we are about to go our separate ways, the front door to Sachi's house opens, and we both turn towards it reflexively. Hi there, Mayumi. Nice to meet you, Auntie. Not looking at all surprised, and she walked briskly over to us. Welcome home, Sachi. Good afternoon, Mamoru-kun. Hello, Mayumi-san. I stand there dazed. She spares me a quick glance before turning to Sachi. Sachi, I know you just got home, but I'd like you to do some saching for me. Shopping for me. Saching for me? Goddamn. Yeah, I'll go change my clothes. No need. I'd prefer if you do it right away. Here's a list with everything I need and some money. Just go to the convenience store. It should only take 10 minutes or so, I think. Oh, okay. See you tomorrow, senpai. Sachi, oblivious, takes the note. Yeah, no, this is an interrogation. We're gonna get fiercely interrogated now. Takes the note Mayumi handed her and starts off, almost running towards the convenience store. What the hell? What's the point of having her do that? Mayumi didn't really look like she was in a hurry to get whatever it was she sent Sachi for. Come to think of it, why didn't she at least wait until I was gone to send Sachi out? Oh, I'll be going now. Sachi's gone shopping, so I don't have any reason to be here. I don't have any reason to be here anyway. I guess I'll get home and... Wait a moment. If you would, Mamoru-kun, I'd like to talk to you. Huh? To me? Well, now I can't leave. What could she possibly want to talk to me about, though? Yes, to you. What for? Yesterday, Sachi came home looking like she had been crying her eye out. I'd like to know why, and I think you might be able to tell me. Crying? Sachi didn't tell you? Well, I hear quite a bit from her, you know. There's one thing I'd like to hear from you. Are you teasing her with all this? Having fun at her expense? What? No, I would never do... Really? Yes, I swear. I see. Well, if that's true, I'm glad to hear it. But I wonder, you think you can take care of her? What? Yes, I do! What do you mean by that? I assume that you know Sachi, and I do not have the best of relationships. I think it might be irresponsible of me to ask this of you, but I'd like you to do something, or to be someone she can rely on. Does that mean you're not willing to let her rely on you? No, I was not implying that. It's just I don't think she's willing to do so any longer. Sachi, you're saying she doesn't want to be around you? That she doesn't trust you? Yeah, it's more or less what she has said. It's understandable, however. Has Sachi told you about her mother? My sister? Yeah, a bit. The two of us were inseparable as children. When she was on her deathbed, she begged me to take Sachi after she was gone, and so I adopted her child. Sachi said something like that as well. At that time, my line of thinking was that Sachi was the reason my sister's husband had disappeared and that she had worked herself to death. None of that is Sachi's fault! In the back of my mind, I know the girl was innocent, but I had just lost my beloved... Yeah, okay, it's one of those, like... yeah, I don't like that, it's one of those, like, putting the blame on a child for something that was quite literally super out of their control. And I had no one to blame but her, so I convinced myself that she was responsible. I never told her that I blamed her, but I'm sure she knew it nonetheless. And she soon began to keep her head down, and even in the house. After that, there was no conversation between us, beyond the bare minimum. I behaved like a child. I tried to involve her in my life as little as possible, and she did the same to me. She had just lost her mother, but I was too caught up in my own grief. Too selfish to even spare one kind word for her. Thinking back, it's a truly shameful way to have behaved. But once she got to high school, she started coming home with numerous cuts and bruises. It was then that I realized I had neglected my beloved sister's final wish. I knew then that I had let her down. But if you realized that, then why didn't you try to help her? I did try. I wanted to know what was happening to her. Of course, but she only told me that she had fallen and nothing had happened to her. And now it's too late for me to help her. But she changed, you know, after she met you. Me? Yeah. At first I was cautious of you, thinking you might have been the one responsible for her injuries. And I'm sorry that I was not more amiable the last time we met. Yeah, no problem. I guess, yeah, so she was just... I guess she feels like it's too late for her to be involved in her life, but no, it's not. You two, you were young. I'm assuming you were probably like in your 20s or maybe early 30s at the latest. And you two have both got like long lives ahead of you that realistically you have so much time that it's going to be better to hash it out and really settle the differences and like be like, I fucked up when I was younger and when you were younger and I'm sorry. Just apologize. Put your pride aside. Who the fuck cares what your assumptions are and what Sachi thinks of you? You can repair this relationship and have a great one for the rest of, like, hopefully that would, like, go on for the rest of your guys' lives. It's because it's obvious that you want to help out and you want to be there for her now because you realize your mistakes, but it's... if you're just doing that and not putting any effort forward, like, outside of the bare minimum and, like, being the super, like, hey, I'll watch over you and be your guardian from fucking space. Like, there's no relationship there. There's no feelings there. There's no happiness there. So even if you are watching out for her like this and being like, maybe this is the person that's bullying her and I can step in and do something about it, you need to do more than that. I guess that's why she was so overbearing then. She does seem less uptight compared to last time. I guess she might not see that though, so hopefully we can get Mamoru here to be like, yeah, you want to fucking actually repair this relationship? Her stare was so icy then, totally different from how she is now, although I suppose she was ready to accuse me of hurting Sachi from the moment she met me. Ever since the first day I saw you in front of our house, the girl has been smiling more than ever before. She goes back to staring at the ground as soon as she notices me, of course. Still, when I gave her money the other day, on the day you two went out, she was the happiest I'd ever seen her. She even thanked me several times. I'd never seen her like that before, and it actually startled me, but her face at that time, delighted as she was nothing less than adorable. That was the first time she had ever asked something of me as well. It made me quite happy, and all of that is thanks to you. So you don't hate Sachi then, I take it? I do not. I thought I did for a long time, however, and I'm paying for that now. If you're admitting all this to me now, why not tell it all to Sachi too? I'm not sure. Be sure. She's super wood, though. She's super wood. I think she'd listen. She's grateful to you for taking care of her. She just doesn't want to cause you any trouble. She told me that herself. But I don't know how I could possibly connect with her after everything I've done. Mayumi looks away from me, suddenly looking very troubled. She seems fixed on something, and I follow her line of sight to the street corner to see Sachi walking towards us, her head down once again. Looks like it's time to wrap this up. Mamoru-kun, please keep everything I told you a secret from Sachi. Sachi feels guilty about being a burden on Mayumi, while Mayumi feels guilty about how she treated Sachi. Both of these issues have all but resolved themselves, haven't they? Somehow, even though Sachi has changed, Mayumi's attitude towards her has not. Or at least, Mayumi hasn't let Sachi catch on that it has. I think Mayumi wants to keep it that way for some reason. Now that I think about it, she must have sent Sachi shopping so she could talk to me alone. She made a list of things she didn't really need so she could send Sachi away to buy them. Was she just waiting by the door for us to get here? If that's the case, she must have been planning to talk to me from the start. Mayumi-san, I think Sachi will tell you herself, but I was planning to take her out with some friends this weekend. Oh my, are you? I shouldn't have anything to worry about if they're your friends, right? Of course I'll let her go. Thank you. When I talked about it with her, she said she wished she had nicer clothing. She'd never ask you, of course, but I see. Ah, hey, you mind helping in, chipping in a little bit, please? Be a good guardian? Or at least a decent one? Mayumi-san, I got what you wanted, but... Huh? Mamoru-senpai? You're still here? Sachi hands the bag of things, full of things that she bought to Mayumi. I was just having a little chat with your friend, that's all, Sachi. Sachi, I've got to get more shopping. I've got more shopping to do. Did I get everything you needed? Oh, yeah, thank you. There seem to be several items in a plastic bag. Looks like Mayumi had her buy a bag of candy, a few pens, that sort of thing. Kind of strange shopping list. She should have at least tried to make it a little more sensible. I need you to come along, so change out of your sailor uniform, or out of your uniform. Huh? Okay, where are we going? To buy you some clothes. I've got some other things to take care of as well. Now, if you'll excuse us, Mamoru-kun. Right. Clothes? For me? Why? No, see you tomorrow, Mamoru-senpai. Yeah, see you tomorrow. The two of them hurry back into their house, leaving me alone. Time to go home. Maybe she's not quite as clever as I thought. Yeah, no, that was very transparent. That was super transparent. Whatever. We cleared up the misunderstanding between us, and she doesn't seem like a bad person, so it'll probably be fine. Probably. Alright. And that'll do it for this act. Act 6. Up to one's eye. And that will do it for this part. We got a little bit of an extended part because, hey, Act 6 is the last act, and I thought it might have been Act 5, but, you know, I have done a terrible job of keeping up on what I think of thinking where I am in this visual novel, so, yeah, that's that. So, for everybody that watched this far, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Love at First Sight. We got the title drop, we got our friend, we got our Mamoru, a nice little girlfriend, we got happiness, we got some nice little awe moments, we got some weirdly erotic, scar-touching scenes. I think that does it for this episode. We will definitely be back tomorrow, though, for more, and for the last episode of Love at First Sight, the good old finale. We got ourselves that'll be 4 episodes long. Honestly, I could have probably made it like one for each actual in-game episode, but I didn't have that foresight, and I thought the VN would honestly be shorter than I thought it was. Like, I was thinking it was going to be somewhere around 2 hours or something like that, but we're heading into like the 5 or 6 hour mark, and that's probably because I talk so much. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow for more Love at First Sight. Take care, guys.